guys, Christina Garibaldi here with Nicki Minaj in her Burbank, California recording studio, where we are just moments away from premiering her new music video, High School, featuring Lil Wayne. So stay tuned, because you are watching MTV First, Nicki Minaj. You're watching MTV First, Nicki Minaj, and I am with Nicki herself. Nicki, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm so good. I know your barbs are super excited for this music video.
Really?
They're counting down the moments.
Really?
Yes.
Uh-oh. Okay.
They're going to be pleasantly surprised. They're going to be so happy with this. Now, I know the music video isn't really about high school, but the title of the song is called High School.
Right.
So let's go back to your high school days. What would the high school version of Nicki Minaj think of her right now?
She would love her.
Yeah.
My high school self would love who I am now.
Yeah.
Because I'm kooky, but sassy, hood, raunchy, but business-minded, all that stuff.
Would she be surprised that you are where you are today?
My high school self thought I was going to be like famous and, you know, a billionaire at 19.
Right.
So my high school self would probably be like, girl, what took you so long to make it?
Well, you're here now and you were about to premiere this music video, so
Yes.
take it away. Introduce this new music video.
Here is my new video of the Re-Up Barbs. It's me featuring Lil Wayne. High School.
Congratulations. What
Thank
a
you.
gorgeous cinematic video.
Aw, thank you.
It must have been so much fun to shoot.
Oh my God, shooting with my baby.
Yeah.
I mean, this one was one for the books. Like, I wanted to shoot a video with Wayne for the longest time with just me and him.
Right.
And this one, like, exceeded all of my expectations. I'm so excited.
I know, and I'm sure what everybody is talking about right now are those steamy scenes with Wayne. What was it like shooting that with him?
We kept on laughing the whole
Sure,
time.
yeah.
And, like, he was like, stop laughing. And I was like, all right. And then I would bust out laughing again. But you know what? Towards the end of the night is when we shot the steamiest scene.
Right.
And I guess I was just too tired to be nervous.
Right, like whatever.
So I was just like, whatever, let's just get this over
Now,
with.
there's one look that I wanted to talk about in particular that was extra steamy, was this scene. Did you guys actually lock lips?
If we actually locked lips, don't you
Really?
think we would have put it in the video?
I know, I thought
Hello?
maybe it just slipped in.
No. Wayne said that we had to kiss for the video. He was like, yo, you know, the one thing that's going to sell it is if we really kiss.
Right.
And I was like,
Ixnay on the kiss. If you had to caption this moment in 2 words, what would it be?
the king and the queen.
There you have it. There you have it. Well, Nicki, you're going to stick around with us for a little bit longer,
Yes.
right? So head on over to MTV.com right now to see us talk about your upcoming album, more about with Wayne and American Idol.
Yes.
Nicki Minaj talking high school. What a fantastic video. It was so
Thank
much
you.
fun. So much fun to watch.
Thank
You know,
you.
I mean, we were talking a little bit about those steamy scenes.
Yeah.
But, like, is it kind of weird because, like, at the end of the day, he's your boss, right?
But not only is he like my boss, but he's also like my brother.
Right. So that makes it extra weird.
It's very weird because like I'm only used to like Wayne making fun of me.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, and all of Young Money boys making fun of me. So, throughout, like every time they yelled cut, like I was just being picked on. Like
Right.
it was like completely, you know, them being like bullies to me. But it was still like Wayne is still so sexy.
Right.
And so I knew, and I texted Wayne, I was like, yo, you gonna have all the chicks back on your, you know what I'm saying, when this video come out, because I was like, I mean, he looks like art. He looks like a piece of art because he's all tattered up.
Totally.
And it's just so sexy, black, and beautiful.
You know, it seemed like you guys had so much fun on the set as well. I watched the behind-the-scenes video of it, and it looks like all you do is joke around the whole time. Is that what it's like on a Young Money set?
You know what? It's never been like this before when I shot with Wayne, like doing the group videos. But what happened was he's like a man of his word. Like prior to us casting anything for the video, I said, you know what, Wayne, I want to do an acting kind of video for high school, and I would love for you to be the leading guy. I was like, but you can't come on set and say you ready to go or whatever. I was like, because you know Wayne is super busy, and he was like, all right, I promise, I got you. I was like, you sure you're gonna do all the scenes, Wayne?
Right.
And he said, yeah, and he really came there and just was like so. Just a joy to work with. Like, he did everything. And, I mean, we really had fun. I think he had fun, too.
I'm sure he did.
Like, it was just, like, a good family atmosphere. And Baby was there as well.
Right.
So, it kind of just made us feel like we was just chilling as opposed to working.
Right. Is it kind of strange, like, who decides, like, who takes the lead when you're doing, like, a scene like that? Is it awkward?
Well,
at first?
he refused to touch me. Like,
Really?
he's so respectful.
I'm surprised.
He was like,
not many men would say that.
he was like, he refused to touch me, and then I was like, Wayne, you could touch certain, like, you could do this, like, I was
There's
like,
spots. You have like X's.
but he was acting scared. He was like, yo, Nick, this is my dream. Like, I'm gonna be the man right after this video. Like, he was just being crazy. But if I didn't tell him, like, yes, you can do this or touch me, whatever, like, he refused to do it. Like, he's a Southern gentleman, which people don't realize.
Now, this isn't the first time that you've kind of had steamy scenes with a label mate. You know, you did this with Drake before.
I never did a steamy.
Well, not like a steamy scene, but like have like a relationship type of thing.
In Moment for Life? Well, it was more fairy tale.
Fairy tale.
That wasn't like real life steamy.
Right. But can you kind of compare the two, or are they just completely different?
I think that I was a lot more comfortable with Wayne.
Okay.
You know, like I think mentally I'm just at a different place now. You know what I mean? And I think when I was shooting Moment for Life, I was very nervous as well because I didn't know if that would be too much. I didn't want people to see maybe too much steaminess and read that the wrong way. So I wanted to make it as kid-friendly is the wrong word, but just as less raunchy as possible, right? But this one, I kind of felt like, you know what? I've paid my dues. People know who I am. They know what I'm about, and I could do whatever the hell I want.
No, but I don't think it's raunchy at all. I mean, it's completely tasteful, and I think it looks beautiful.
And what I said to Benny Boom, who I love, who shot the video, I said, I want the scene with Wayne and myself to look like a novel, like a photo shoot. I didn't want it to look like, yeah, strippers in the house, boom, boom. Even shout out to my strippers, but I didn't want this one to look like that. I wanted it to feel sensual.
Cinematic.
Yes.
Totally. Did Wayne see the video? Was he happy with the finished product?
I just emailed it to him a couple hours ago, and I said, hey, I emailed you the video, and here's the password. And he goes, okay, sweet. He didn't respond yet. I don't know if he saw it.
Hopefully he gets back to you soon.
Right. Hopefully, Wayne, you will let me know what you think about the video, if he even watches it. But what was so crazy is that when I had visited him in the hospital, the first thing he said to me was, yo, you got to cut a video? I was just like, what?
That's like more things to think about right now.
Like, so I showed him like pictures on my phone, and he just started cracking up laughing. I showed him like stills of the video.
Yeah, well, it's good that he's thinking about work at a time like that. All right, so we want to get the Barbs involved in this conversation. So we had a ton of Twitter questions. So let's go to the first one right now. My Mirage, what inspired the storyline behind the high school video?
You know what? I wanted it to feel like a hood story. You know what I mean? So when I spoke to Benny, I was like, yo, what if we had a little bit of just like, what is the belly? Like a belly feel to it. I wanted it to feel like hood. Every person in the hood can relate to that storyline, but also look visually beautiful.
We've said it a couple times that this video is very cinematic, and like it's almost like you guys are in a mini movie.
Yeah.
You know, have you caught the acting bug? Is acting something that you want to do?
Yes.
Definitely.
I may be working on something right now, and I can't really say too much about it. But
maybe means yes.
Possibly. Yes. But I definitely have the acting bug. I mean, that was my first love, and so, you know, you just never know. But I think with the storyline for this, I wanted it to match the song. Like in the lyrics that I'm spitting, I'm talking about a dude that is in the hood. He did time in jail. He, you know, makes money the best way he knows how, moving weight, whatever. And like, you know, but I'm still obsessed with him. Like, there's something still so lovable about him. And that's kind of what the video shows.
Was there any movies that kind of inspired this, your thought process behind this?
Definitely Belly, I think. Shout out to Hype Williams.
Right. Let's go to another tweet.
Yeah.
This one is funny. At JZ08, when you were in high school, which girl from Mean Girls would you say you were more like?
I don't remember their names, but definitely the Lindsay Lohan character.
Katie.
Because when I was in grade school, my parents, whenever they would fight, we would have to move again.
Oh, okay.
And so I ended up going to a lot of schools, and I would always get like grilled by everyone. And so the cool girls, you know, sometimes like I could front and fit in with them if I wanted to, but then I would just be like, ew. Like eventually I would just be like, nah, you're not even my cup of tea. Like I'm on my Nicki-ish. You know what I'm saying? But I think with the Mean Girls thing, I definitely was the new girl, because I was just always the new girl everywhere.
Right. Was school difficult for you? Was it
Yes.
looking back, not a good experience?
You know what? It wasn't difficult in an academic standpoint, but It was difficult in that I went to a lot of new schools.
Right, so it's hard to start over all the time.
It was always a little bit nerve-wracking trying to meet new people and meet new friends, and I've always been the type of person, like, I don't want to kiss anybody's ass, like, I'm not going to beg to be your friend, like, I just have always been like that. It's like, if you like me, like, you know, but I also was really, like, loud and crazy, so people were always, like, interested in talking to me and meeting with me, like, when I went to school, but it was difficult. I mean, I always remembered having, like, the butterflies in my stomach, like, oh God, another new school, you know?
That has to be really hard, because I know just going into high school once and feeling like that, but doing it over and over again, it's got to be a really, really tough experience.
Very.
But it made you who you are today.
Yes.
Yes. All right, so I think a lot of people, what also they might be talking about from this video is Lil Wayne's abs, because he is shirtless in this whole thing. Like you said, he is a body of art, but I want to know how you think he stacks up against our best shirtless performance nominees for the MTV Movie Awards, because Movie Awards are coming up, and we have this new category, best shirtless performance. So how do you think he stacks up against Ted, Daniel Craig and James Bond, Taylor Lautner in Twilight, Christian Bale in The Dark Knight Rises, and then my favorite, Channing Tatum in Magic
I don't think
Mike.
any of them had anything on Wayne except for maybe that boy, Taylor.
Yeah.
He's from Twilight?
Twilight, yep. Would you pick a winner from this?
Taylor.
Taylor. Are you a big Twilight fan?
Clearly not. But I mean, I know that it's like something that everyone loves, but I just have never seen it, but I'm pretty sure it's amazing.
Yeah. Did you see Channing Tatum in Magic Mike? The stripper movie?
No, but I saw him in the movie with the teddy bear. Wait. Is that him?
No, the teddy bear is Ted. That's Mark Wahlberg.
Oh.
That's all right.
Oh, okay. Well, Channing Tatum. Channing Tatum. Oh, now I know who Channing Tatum is.
Right.
Channing Tatum is sexy as hell.
Yes.
You got that right. He's sexy as hell. So now I don't know.
Yeah.
Taylor might got the best abs, but Channing overall is something sexy, honey. Yes.
I have to agree. All right. Is High School going to be the last single that we see off the re-up?
Maybe not.
Maybe not. Okay.
Maybe not.
Yeah.
I might have something else in store.
Okay.
But it's like recently I've been taking it one day at a time. You know, I don't want to plan everything. I've been in like a really good headspace where I'm just like living my life and enjoying myself, really enjoying my life.
Right.
And so now I'm just taking it one day at a time. But you know, we might have one more.
Okay.
And I think the Barbs know which one it is. It will be. You know, I've been working with Ciara a lot, and I'm in the studio to finish up a couple things for her today. Okay. And amongst other things that I'm doing today, but that's one of the things, like she has like this dope song. I can't wait for the Barbs to hear it. And so we might end up doing the record that I have with her as well.
So you're actually working on her album right now?
Yes. Yeah. Which I have to say, people are going to love her new album. Yeah. I love it. I mean, I was supposed to only do one song for her album, and I think I'm going to end up doing two, because I just love what she's doing, and I'm so proud, and I'm really excited for people to hear it.
Yeah. But I know in an interview that we did a couple weeks ago, you said that you are in LA recording your own album. How is that
I did? I haven't started recording.
No, you haven't?
Okay. I haven't started recording my third album. No. I've started letting my brain be free from thinking about that. Because I wanted to go back to the place where I was when I was recording my first album, which was I was just doing features and enjoying music. Like I was enjoying coming up with a crazy verse today and being inspired tomorrow and listening to the radio. Like so that's where I'm at right now. Like I'm not going to force anything. I'm not going to do anything just because I feel like it's time. No. Yeah. I'm going to give people quality. Right. And if it takes time, it takes time. And recently I've been on my, 2009, 2010, when I was just like, my features are just like exciting me again. And I have a lot more that people don't even know about. Yeah.
Now, I know that, you said the features, you just did one with French Montana, and then actually Mac Main was in at MTV News recently. He said that you did something with Future.
Yes, people are going to love the one with Future. Like, it just feel right. It feel like, oh, well, all right, like that's how it feel. It feel crazy. Shout out to Future too. I'm a huge fan.
What is it like getting into the studio with somebody like him?
A lot of times I don't have time to actually get in the studio with people, but, he did Tap Out. Like, he did a chorus on Tap Out. People went crazy for Tap Out, and And then I got, it's like the day that I wrote the Tap Out verse, I then got a verse for his album. And I was like, oh, really? And I heard it, and like all the dudes like it. So I was like, that's a great sign. And I just went in and did my verse and just felt it. Like, it just reminded me, his music reminds me of like my mixtape music.
Right. Yeah.
So that's why.
No, definitely. What excites you about getting on these guest verses? Is it challenging doing it for other artists, or is it you just kind of get in the zone?
It's not challenging. It's fun. And you know, I think that one of the biggest things about Nicki Minaj is that I'm versatile. Like anybody from any label, from any genre can send me a song, and I'll freak the verse. Like, you know, and I think that's been, you know, so shout out to all the artists that I've worked with who've given me that opportunity. That's very important to me. And that actually keeps me changing, and it keeps, you know, it breaks up the monotony of me focusing on just one thing or one voice or one sound, because I can just always experiment, and it's something that a lot of artists do not get the opportunity to do, especially not female rappers. You know what I mean? Like, I get a lot of feature requests, and I really thank God for the opportunity.
Now, it's been almost a year to the day since Roman Reloaded was out, and then about 5 months since the re-up. So a lot of things have happened, and like you said, like all of these different features and experiences shape your sound. So where do you think you are going to go sonically?
I mean, I definitely think sonically it's going to be closer to what the re-up is, because that's just what I've been feeling. I mean, I did a lot of experimenting on Roman Reloaded, and I'm excited. I mean, Roman Reloaded spawned 3 platinum singles, 1 gold single, 1 quadruple platinum single. It's, you know, I think 1.6 or 1.7 million sold worldwide. I mean, I'm thankful. Like, not too many people get to experiment with something and get that, you know what I mean? And it did that in lots of other countries, not just the United States. So I'm happy, because when I did the world tour last year, people went crazy. Like, and you know, I couldn't believe the kinds of people that came to my show, and everybody was just one person. Like, it didn't feel like it's this race or that, you know, sexuality or whatever. It just was like everybody was together. And that's what really I want to do, you know, from the beginning. Like, no matter what kind of music I want to do, I want my fans to be a big, you know, soup, a big gumbo soup of everything and everyone. And, you know, I hope that never changes. But the third album will definitely be more like the mixtapes.
Are you going to get back on the road this year, you think?
I don't think I can. I really would love to, but I don't think I'll have the time.
You have a lot going on.
It's a lot, because I'm also going to be launching a few products this year that I'm going to need to really lend myself to, like the clothing line. I have a drink that's about to come out. We're going to announce that soon. And I just did, you know, these new speakers that you guys are going to see the commercial for, like this week or next week. So I have a lot of things that the business side of me has to work on, and I also want to be here so that I can write. I have to, I mean, I obviously am going to start working on the third album very soon. I mean, I'm getting beats as we speak. I just haven't started writing as yet, but that's my biggest priority, obviously.
Totally. Now, do you think the Pink Friday tag is going to stay in the album? Or
as of right now, I don't think I'm going to keep it.
I mean, I know moving on to a new chapter.
Yes, because I feel like even though I am the same now, my experiences have changed me in good ways, to be honest. Like, I'm in a place now of just being super grateful and appreciative for everything, and I want that to show in everything I do. And so the Pink Friday is like a great chapter, and I love it. It represents great things, but I really want to start a new era. I mean, I told the Barbs that I would call it Pink Friday, the pink print.
They've been talking a lot about the pink print.
Or just the pink print. At this point, I don't even know if I want to include the word pink. So Barbs, I'm sorry, but you still got to keep guessing. But they like my surprise.
Of course.
I still may keep the pink print. I'm not closed off to that. I just don't know. I want to see where the music takes me first.
Totally. Now, when Mac Main was also in our studio, he not only said that you were perfect, but he said that you have kind of transitioned from an artist to a brand. And, you know, not many people can say that they are a brand artist. Do you feel pressure now being in the studio, knowing that you are this huge icon? Does it put pressure on you?
I think I had more pressure doing my second album.
Okay.
You know, because I had just sold 2.5 million records worldwide. Right. After 8 years of a female rapper even having a #1 on Billboard. So I had all these things in my head, like, can I live up to this? Can I, you know, it's just, I felt so bombarded with everything people were expecting.
Yeah.
But this time, I care less about the acceptance and more about me being the lyrical ill bitch that I am, knowing that I am lyrically better than most of the male rappers out there. Yes, I'm gonna say it. I don't get the credit that I deserve. Like Up in Flames on the re-up. Like if a dude was on that song with me, everyone would have talked about it and they would say, oh, who had the best verse or blah, blah, blah. But when I put a song out by myself, it's like people are like, you know, men, because men run the hip hop game. Let's be honest. Like they're the program directors. They're the ones, you know, they want to be able to rap stuff and say it. They're not going to recite a female. You know, they just feel funny, and it is what it is. But I think that when I look at my verses and the wordplay and the metaphors and all of that stuff, I mean, outside of a hot new artist or a buzz or a hot new song, I've put in my work lyrically.
Oh, totally.
And it's like, people act like it doesn't exist.
It's gotta be frustrating.
Now I actually, before I used to get upset about it, but now I don't. Like now it's just
drives
like,
you.
It drives me. Like I'm gonna keep on playing, I'm gonna keep on having fun, I'm gonna keep on giving my fans what they know, what they expect from me, which is, you know, greatness. Like I'm not going to allow that to deter me. Like I'm super duper excited to get back in the studio.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's everything.
All right, let's get your fans back into this conversation. Let's take another tweet. All right, at Prosper for Mickey, ask Nicki, are there any new talented female rappers she likes?
You know what? I always answer this question in this way. I don't feel like I should ever single anyone out. I always feel like any female rapper that's doing their thing, that's able to make a name for themselves or able to garner fans or whatever, I'm a fan of you.
Yeah.
Because I know how hard it is. And if you're doing shows, I was doing shows for 200 people.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I'm proud of that. So when I see these girls doing it, I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
Like whether you hear me say your name specifically or not, I'm proud of you. I mean, I think like from what I've been seeing, it's just been all love. Like, and I wanna say that I really, really appreciate the love from up and coming female rappers. And the only thing I want to tell them is like, realize that this is a business.
Right.
And you have to make strategic plays, but you also have to guard yourself. You know, when I started being around Young Money and everything, like, Wayne thought I was shy.
Yeah.
But it wasn't that I was shy. I just didn't want anybody to think I was easy.
Right.
So no matter what my lyrics were saying, when I got around these guys, I was just like,
yeah, you kind of taking
like,
it all in.
I was a prude. I was a prude because I didn't want anyone in this game to ever be able to say I had sex with her.
Right.
Or when she needed a deal, she had to. No. Until this day, not one single man in this industry can say that. And I pride myself on that.
Right.
And that's the only bit of advice I would give the up-and-coming female rappers. Like, you can be whoever you want in your records, in your videos. You can be as sexy as you want, but just maintain your dignity around these guys.
Yeah. I mean, saying all that, like, you know, in 15, 20, 30 years from now, looking back, what do you want your hip-hop legacy to be?
I say it all the time. I want to be female rapper turned mogul. I mean, I was saying that before my first album dropped, when MTV did a little documentary on me, which winded up being one of the best things I've ever done. I was saying I want to be the female Jay in terms of how he carved out his business. Because I didn't understand why female rappers, and shout out to the female rappers that came before me, I always have to say that. Because I mean no disrespect. I just feel like maybe whoever was in their circles didn't really help them be all that they could be. And I just decided to change that.
So let's shift gears a little bit.
Yes.
American Idol.
Yes.
It's, you know, we're a couple of weeks into the live shows. You know, what I really enjoy about your judging style is that not only are you brutally honest, but I think you made it a point this year to make sure that no artist stays in a box. You know, that they always kind of reach out to all different genres. Do you feel like people still try to do that to you? Do you feel like people still try to put you in a box?
I think that people try to put me in a box, but not in a bad way.
Right.
Like, for instance, last week I told Angie Miller, why are you giving us all this trying to be sexy, jumpy stuff? When you're on the piano, you're at your best, and I'm obsessed with you, and I want your album. And I think with people who knew me from my mixtapes, they were like, no, Nicki, go back to that, because that's why I like you. And I can't be mad at someone for saying that or feeling that. Because as a fan of other artists, I know how I am. I mean, I am a fan of Lil Wayne. So when he did his rock album, I loved it, but I didn't want him to do another rock album. You know what I mean? So it's like the fans that are still with me, they gave me the chance to experiment on my second album. But I know that deep down what they want is for me to give them what I was giving them 3 and 4 years before my first album came out. That's what they want. And you can't be mad at people for being honest about what they want.
Of course. Is that what you want? Is that what you feel now? That
I think that's what I feel. I mean, I think that's the consensus. And I feel like a lot of people feel like that's where I shine. Yeah. You know, and so I believe it. That is where I shine. You know,
totally.
It is what it is.
Now, are you enjoying your time at Idol? Is it fun for you? Yeah.
I really, truthfully am.
You're so fun to watch.
Thank you.
You really are.
I mean, you know what? I didn't really know what to expect, and I'm happy that I took the opportunity. Yeah. Because down to the wire, I was about to say no, down to the wire, because I was just so used to being able to be in control of everything, and I feel like sometimes, especially as women, we get this control freak thing, and it's like, wait a minute, if I'm gonna lose control, I don't want to be a part of it.
Totally.
And I'm happy that I became vulnerable, allowed Idol to, you know, do what they did, and I kind of stepped back. Right. And I just saw this big machine begin to unfold before me. Like, Idol is a machine.
Crazy.
And so, you know what? It's like a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
Now that you've been a couple weeks into this, how do you feel the whole judging dynamic has evolved? Do you guys feel that you're in a good place?
I don't know. I mean,
some days are good, some days.
You know what? Listen, I just know that I have a lot of self-control on that piano. A lot of self-control. That's all I'll say about that.
Has it gotten any better though? Is it
no.
Day by day? No.
No.
Yeah. But is it now at a place where you guys can kind of just concentrate on the contestants?
Sometimes, but last week it was some craziness going on. I didn't know what was going on. But listen, Joe, I focus on the contestants. I don't know about anybody else. And and I have to say this, not trying to toot our horn, but these 4 judges, we have picked some amazing talent. Like the voices that are on this season, unmatched. Like the voices on this season remind me of those voices when Fantasia won. Totally. Like when it was just one after the other of just amazing voice. And you know, us 4, Keith, Randy, Mariah, us together, we picked some really great people, and I'm really like proud of that.
No, definitely, and I think you guys are giving them very constructive criticism as well.
Thank you.
And I mean, when you were like, "Get off the stage," I don't even want to see that. I was like literally dying because you know what, you say things that like are going through my mind. And
everybody does that. They're like, you always say something that I'm thinking. Really? Because a lot of times afterward, I'm always like,
you're honest, you know.
But afterwards, I'm always like, wait a minute, was that me?
Is there something that goes through your mind that you're like that you watch back and you're like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have said that.
Because it seems mean until they get the camera of me smiling and cracking up laughing. Then it's like, wait a minute, is this girl crazy, or is she like, does she love people's pain? Or, like, I just don't know how I would view myself if I wasn't me. Like, it's weird because I never say it in like a cruel way. Like it's always like in fun when I was like, get off the stage. Because thank God they really had already done their solo performances, which were all great. So I was just really thinking, I really want to act like that didn't happen, which y'all just did.
Just gonna block it out. Well, I cannot sit here with Nicki Minaj and not talk fashion.
Uh-oh.
So, and you know what? Your fashion has evolved so much in the past couple years, and
Yeah.
I think recently it's evolved a lot. You know, it's a lot, kind of a more softer look that we've seen before. You know, why did you decide to change your fashion so much?
Towards the end of the year, last year, I just wanted to have a more natural look.
Okay.
And that's what I was explaining to my team. I want a more natural look, you know? And I knew that I was about to start doing covers of magazines, and I wanted a more relatable look.
Yeah.
You know, I knew that I was about to launch a clothing line. I want women to know that I'm just a regular woman.
Right.
You know, and I'm not some weirded out character all the time, you know? So I made that conscious effort, I think, to tone it down and to try new things. And when I started seeing what my hair looked like, I just fell in love.
Yeah, it looks
like,
beautiful.
Thank you.
I love it.
I was just like, oh my gosh, like where has this been all my life?
Right.
Because, you know, and even my fans went crazy. Like, I feel like the whole world went crazy.
No, totally.
They were just like, it's almost like it felt like I took off this mask, and then people were not. It didn't feel like that to me, but to the world, it's almost like, oh, now we see the real her.
Right.
It was weird. I was
it's
like,
a lot
why
less hours in the makeup chair.
but that's the thing. I think that people were under the assumption that I was wearing a lot of makeup.
Right.
Because I was wearing pink blush and pink lips.
Right.
So I didn't really change anything about my, well, in the L shoot, yes, we definitely did like hardly any makeup.
Right.
But I'm talking about like when people see me on Idol now, for instance, I'm not wearing less makeup, I'm just wearing nude colors.
New colors, yeah. It looks beautiful. You actually shared some of these looks with some of your barbs. These are some of the looks that you recently shared.
Yes.
Can you kind of describe what you're going for in this look?
That just looks like hip-hop fashionista.
Totally.
That looks like, you know, video girl, like swerving, serving, Irvin. It just looks like hip-hop realness as it should be done.
Totally.
I think those boots are Givenchy, and I think the dress is a Ballman dress.
Beautiful. Were those the boots in high school too?
No, in the high school video, I wore brown boots, and they may have been just Giuseppe.
They were beautiful too. So I love this look. This is gorgeous.
Oh, this is one of my favorites. We were just chilling, and I had like a nice room at the hotel. That's like a golf course back there, and this is an Oscar de la Renta dress, Louboutin heels, and I got my bangs back. And I'm feeling cute.
Awesome. All right, we have one more. I love this. This is gorgeous.
Thank you. This is the same shoe and Alexander McQueen dress, I believe.
Yes, absolutely gorgeous. All right, let's go to one more Twitter question. At Minaj Fanatic. In Up in Flames, you say, got the clothing line popping and the wigs is next. Are the wigs really next?
That's such a great question. My barbs are so smart. I love them so much. Tag, you know what? ... I haven't go touch that one yet, Playboy.
Right. But you are doing clothing line, right?
Yeah. Yeah, my clothing line with Kmart.
Coming up.
It's supposed to launch this year for fall, actually. And we're doing something different, which we're launching things online to just get a gauge of, you know, the temperature of how people are feeling it, hot, cold, yada, yada. And so the barbs will get to tell me every step of the way what they like, what they don't like, why they don't like it, and why they love it on shopyourway.com.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah.
That's really awesome. So, I mean, we talked about this. You are an icon. You do so much. You are a brand artist. You do American Idol. You have your fashion line. You're with Mac. You have all these things going on.
Yeah.
You know, what's the next thing that you're going to do to shock people, you think?
I think they're going to be shocked at my movie roles.
Yeah.
I think, that's going to happen very, very soon. And, you know, I'm looking forward to, well, the perfumes. I'm putting out 2 more fragrances this year, actually. Another limited edition. One limited edition came out today. Another limited edition is going to come out, and then another official perfume is coming out. And when the barbs see that bottle,
they're going to go crazy.
Gag century.
Right.
Like, it's going to be crazy.
What kind of movie roles would you want to do? Is there an actress that you kind of admire that you would want to have a career like?
I think Zoe Saldana.
Zoe Saldana, yeah.
I think she does dope roles.
Oh, yeah.
I always love that they're not like stereotypical roles. I always thought Halle Berry she did such a great mix-up of different types of movies, whether she did action, whether she did love, you know, I always thought she did really, really nice kinds, and she always kept she kept her fan base guessing.
Totally.
And so, you know, I would love to pattern my career after Halle's if there's a God.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, of course, I don't expect to be able, I mean, because she started out when she was so early on, but she's definitely someone who I take my hat off to.
Right. So hopefully a movie role announcement soon.
Yes.
Definitely. We have one more Twitter question?
Sure.
All right. In the Hove Lane, ask Nicki, what's the best prank you have ever pulled?
Oh my God. Well, of course, Barbs, you know this one. The best prank until this day, I fall on the floor laughing when I really think about it, is when I told Twitter that I was on the Soul Train Awards and I was about to come out and perform Itty Bitty Piggy. And so my fans watched the entire Soul Train Awards and I never came out. And
were they so mad?
But they were sending me like hate mail.
Really?
Like, how dare you? You made me watch this whole show. Wow, Nicki, you played yourself, yo. Wow. And I was just like, geez, guys, it was a joke.
Right.
And I remember that night I had a show, and it bothered me. Like, I was like, oh, my God, I didn't know they would take it. My thing was, who would believe that I was performing Itty Bitty Piggy on the Soul Train Award?
Why would somebody take that seriously? Did you do any April Fool's Day pranks?
I haven't done one April Fool's Day. You know why?
Yeah.
Because every time I tweet, the Barbs think I'm doing an April Fool's.
Right.
So they're like psyching their own selves out. So you know what? Bye.
You don't have to do anything.
Do it.
Well, Nicki, it was such a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you.
It was so much fun, and I wish you nothing but the best on the new album,
you, darling.
the upcoming movie roles, and anything else you have in store.
Yay. Hi, Barbs. Bye, Barbs. Love you. Love you.